Welcome back to day number 1 of season 10 of the Smite Pro League. We've got one more best of 3 for you on this fine Friday afternoon. Already a 2-0 for the Highland Ravens over the Atlantis Leviathans in a great set to round out our day here today. It's the Kings up against the Dragons. Let's delay no further. Camelot Kings, Jade Dragons. It's game number 1 with J-Mac and Gormizer.
Thank you so much, Dave and Miff. We jump into our second set of the day. And what a banger of a set we get, Gormizer. The Jade Dragons and the Camelot Kings.
Is really nice. First couple of levels, you're trying to kind of get things online, get into the position you want to be. Now's when you really can start picking things up at level 3.
Genetics falling low. Couple more autos from Mike and Vote should do it, but just missing out on a couple of them. Once again, Genetics put down
him. Keep an eye on his items, and then assuming he does go for that prophetic cloak immediately, keep an eye on his stacks, because that's where it's really going to make the difference.
Mike standing in the edge of the grass. Genetics now being ganked by Lazarus as well. This should be a first blood for the Jade Dragons. Question is who's going to get it. Swinging away to buy some time. Genetics, and now your core's shown up. Death from above for Vote. Will get first blood, but crushing away by Captain Twig will take Lazarus out of the fight. Quick blink by the Susano. A pickup by Mike, but not a full grab. Instead, now it's Mike being turned on. Has to dash away from Yark. And Vote will stand his ground to keep his team alive.
That is existed for a little while, kind of had their moments to try and get things done, but hasn't been able to find it yet.
Oh no, the pickup lands onto Nika, the World Weaver, not even necessary. And I thought Nika was just out of range from that pickup from Variety, but he gets him right at the edge to start. And now Dardes forced out of beads. Ultimate from Genetics just off the mark, but a crash in by Yarkor. Dardes as good as dead. Yark, credit to the kill. Captain Twig shows up just for the assist.
And now with Pyromancer over, you can see everybody kind of rotating over. And I'm actually surprised to see that we're getting Vote involved.
Another ultimate from Mike, a swing in by Genetics. The Jade Dragons will get the Pyromancer, but the fight is not looking so great. Vote pulled back, forced into the sky to rain death from above as best he can. But Aegis on landing, he's being bullied by Variety and the rest of the Kings who have taken him down. One out for the Jade Dragons, maybe a second if Genetics can find a hook, but just off the mark from landing on a PBM.
And so now you're lacking a little bit of secure. This is a great call from the Kings.
Mike is being bullied away. Lazarus tries to get in, does a lot of damage to Captain Twig. Nika gets the kill, but it's all set up by Lazarus, who's dashed out. PBM gone as well as Lazarus. Nika pops the beads to try and escape and gets the dash just in time. Double stun by Dardes is good. Variety finds the push, but Nika can dash away. Boulder just grazes the back of Nika.
Genetics still has ult. I mean, there's good engage from the Kings to make this still happen.
Genetics pulls back 2. Oni Fury low. The Kings have stolen it away. And now they will rampage forward. Captain Twig full HP on the hop on. No blink though available. Dardes Aegis quick to avoid the water hands. And now it's just Mike by himself. Yanked back by Genetics. Shoved against the wall and a killing spree for Yark. And right back to the fire for the Kings.
This is that, conversation we were having earlier. I mean, Mike's got a lot of stacks on the prophetic cloak, but because he's not got the thieves, right, you're lacking a little bit in terms of health, maybe struggling in aspects like that, and now you're just getting jumped on by the Kings. You have to constantly be retreating, and it's a couple of ults thrown out by the Kings, so it's so much space granted.
Fire started again by the Kings. It was leashed for a moment there, trying to take down Mike. Fire Giant low, 10% HP. The Kings will get the fire. Nika dives in and only stuns Yarkor. Ultimate for Genetics, not quite enough, as Nika's able to get away, and while Vote rains in damage from the sky, the Camelot Kings are alive and healthy. Fire on all 5, and the Dragons on the 3 versus 2 split. The Camelot Kings are the ones netting from it. Mid-Phoenix nearly down. Vote to the sky, gets a lot of damage on the Captain. He almost took him out by himself. Lazarus will go in with the Typhoon, and that starts the fight for the Jade Dragons.
And look, I love this. Vote still playing aggressively. Nika's there to keep up some of this pressure. I don't know that they're going to have the chase down that they need. Root off the mark from
back to the fight.
It's the Chernobog part that's really the most menacing. Pyromancer. Look, this is something I'm impressed with the Dragons stepping up to this, trying to force the fight, get something going, but it's incredibly dangerous to lose. I mean, look at Vote's health bar.
Wow, and Dardes gone in an instant. Captain Twig erases him off the map. Immediately now Yarkor will join his team on the right side of the map. Fire Giant on all 5 of the Camelot Kings. Dardes down for 40 seconds.
One of these Phoenixes is going to die. Guaranteed. It's just how many more they can get after that that's going to make a difference.
Now Now he ult off the mark by Genetics. Phoenix still at a third HP. Runic Bomb hits. Typhoon goes through 3 in the back line. The Phoenix is still alive. Another boulder from Variety and one more auto will take down the bird. The Camelot Kings, they take a lot of damage. They dish a bit back out. But at the end of the day, the Phoenix was their end call. That fight up with another pick towards the tank. Sunder used. Ultimate for Genetics only will connect with Mike. Nika steps forward. He'll be able to walk away. Genetics swings to the back line. Boulder slams into 2. And the left side bird will fall to the Camelot Kings. Variety PBM pushed back and knocked away by Yarkor. Now Dardes and Nika on the run. A triple Typhoon from Lasbra will slow down the Camelot Kings. It's 5 versus 4, but the Kings unwilling to push it to the throne room just
choke out their opponents. That's exactly what they've been doing. And it feels like there's not a lot of opportunity here for the Dragons to really make their stand, especially knowing the kind of minions that are going to be pouring down. They've got
find that pickup. He's fishing for a single target to grab, but he can't get any one of them. And it's Captain Twig who's eating a lot of damage. Nika out to the back line. Doesn't find the stun he was looking for. Instead, it is a turn and burn. Yarkor up in the sky, down on the ground, fighting against Lasbra, but just misses the auto that he needs to turn it around.
Maui goes for the pull, not able to get it, but this is still a good siege for the Kings.
Variety gets pushed back a little bit. Polar Bear Mike has stepped too far forward, and Lasbra killed inside the throne room. The Camelot Kings have taken out 2, maybe a third. Vote use the agent preemptively, but it's only demise for the Jade Dragons, the Camelot Kings. A slow game, but a dominant one as they take game 1.
Let's find out. Camelot Kings, Jade Dragons. Game number 2 starts right now.
That's right. We jump into game number 2 with the Jade Dragons and the Camelot Kings in our second set of the day. It's J-Mac, Gore, and Doug here to bring you the action for that second game.
Immediate engagey outside of the Circuit in your 3v3. And I think that's going to help the Kings out, especially in the next few minutes.
Lasbra finds a big taunt. This could be a big first blood for the Jade Dragons. Genetics separates himself from BMT. And the Dragons are able to strike first on the map. What will the follow-up be at the Camelot Kings? Mike steps up to try and stop the shield buff. That one does go the way of the Kings, but now Lasbra is here. Taunt on Genetics. He'll throw him back again. And Genetics has been here before. He will run as fast as he can. He's able to get away this time as nobody from the Dragons committed their damage to it. And now it's Mike left hung out to dry. And the Camelot Kings will strike back with their first kill.
Lasbra has to go in deep, but has no beads to survive CC. So they just get the kill.
Vote and Dardes team up to take down 1 at the Fury. Should be 2.
Yeah.
Up against Genetics. He's running. Lasbra on the way. It'll be 2 kills now for the Jade Dragons. A double on top for Dardes, but a Fury for the Camelot Kings.
If you're the Kings, you just need to kind of right the ship that otherwise has been falling apart a little bit.
Variety dives in, gets the beads and ult off of Dardes. Now it's PBM being chased out. The firebolts from the house, not enough damage to take down PBM. But all 5 of the Camelot Kings has searched the left side of the map. There's not even an objective to fight over here. Variety's just rotated, maybe just for the sake of fighting at this point.
This, right? They know they have control. Start the Oni Fury, force the Dragons to respond. If they don't respond here, that was a little close for comfort,
yeah.
Then you can at least then maybe try to force a fight around the Pyromancer. I mean, they're daring them, and I don't think they're going to take the bait. And honestly, I don't know that they're going to get much else.
Variety will ult on top of 2, but Lasbra and Nika will go ahead and shut that one down. Now might be a 2v1 thrown towards Variety instead. We saw this just a little while ago. Variety will jump away, but will still go down yet again. Nika credit to another kill, but Captain Twig slapping around, seeing how much damage he can get out against Nika and Lasbra. Does get quite a bit, but needs just a little bit.
Another wide miss. And picks like that, I mean, that's the difference between a Fury and having to wait.
Variety in a new 2v1. This 2v1 does a lot more damage. Big Man Tings, though, will return the favor. A 1-for-1 trade. Variety's not worth a whole lot now. Big Man Tings is level 20. Will go down to the collapse of the Jade Dragon. Nika, the other one here from the Fire Giant. The Camelot Kings have 5 people here. Lasbra trying to wrap around the back, but now the rest of the Dragons have come through. The fire goes to the Kings. But the fight is starting for the Jade Dragons. Nika strikes 1 before he goes down, but now with Dardes out, and the damage raining from Vote, not enough to take out Twig or Variety. It's 3 for 1, and now it might be an extra one. Vote with no relics, a couple of crits from Yark. will spell the end of the road for one. Lasbra able to take out another one and get his escape out. 3 with Fire Giant for the Kings, and only Lasbra left
More
alive.
telegraph genetics. You know what he's been trying to do. We've been talking about it all game. It's just whether or not he can finally get that pull. That's going to make a big difference, and there's the big one.
It's on to PBM, pulled back through, just a little bit of HP, but PBM or BT will stomp him down. But it's a 1-for-1 as Dardas has found a pick onto Captain Twig, instantly back in the fight. A 1-for-1 trade.
Your sustain can only do so much. You'd be relying heavily on a Bloodforge shield to make something big happen.
Well, Variety caught out by Vode. A lot of damage. Vode goes up to the sky. Will rain some damage back against Captain Twig, but mostly for escape as the firebolts from the house are slamming through the backline. Lasbra has nearly found one. BNC tries to do it around, but the poison has spread, and Lasbra has grabbed a double kill for himself. Captain Twig and the Camelot Kings on the run.
And this is going to be a very easily secured Fire Giant. JMac, they needed this one fall down. And with the Oni Fury going to the Kings here, I will not be surprised if in a second that Fire Giant power play graphic indicates that the Dragons might actually be under in terms of some of the gold that they've picked up here. With the Pyromancer, it might put it just over. But yeah, it's 800 total, which is a drop at 34 minutes.
Camelot Kings, they got 2 runic bombs. They used one.
Are they just base racing?
They're just going straight through.
They're just
Genetics
gonna
has
go
got
for
to
it.
keep them all busy. While the Camelot Kings will sneak around the back of the Jade Dragons. Lasbra's here. Poison is spread onto one. He tries to save this one, but one lone Serket cannot stop the Camelot Kings, who have marched right back to the back line and swept the set 2-0.
Now what you can do right there, screen cap that map. Because what do you see when you look at the bottom half? There's a single ward, and it's the King's ward at that. They have no vision, nothing to see if anyone's going there. Admittedly, that's just a bold call from the Kings. That is nothing short of just really good shot calling and good map
Through that
awareness.
last little play there, because that was kind of just seemingly out of nowhere. You guys move over towards the Fury, and you start routing through the jungle and go for the Phoenix. Whose call was it to kind of make a play through that jungle and then go for the end as well?
I hate giving him credit, but it was Sam's call, genetics. But yeah, no, it was a good call. It was executed exactly as we needed it to. Only one of them got the back off, so it was a pretty free end in the grand scheme of things.
Well, you guys got the big win against the Jade Dragons. The first and only time you'll face off against them in this phase. Congrats on the win. We'll throw back to Des. Keep going.
Thanks.